So, hotly contested category where it was Property Trader of the Year. And the winner of Property Trader of the Year is Cormac Henderson.
Thank you. That's forward and back. Well, this is a big surprise. Wasn't expecting this. Thank you guys for such a warm welcome. So my name's Cormac. We've been asked to talk a little bit about ourselves. Hopefully you find it useful. I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a chat about my journey, how I got here, my background, and what National Property Trade is all about. So I'm the founder and CEO of National Property Trade. So let me tell you a little bit about that. So my personal journey. So I arrived in London in 2002, and of course I was met by a stunning, bustling, energetic metropolis, an inspiring place to be. The centre of the empire, and of course I was motivated by the incredibly high rents, and I thought I'd rather be receiving them as opposed to paying them. So I quickly realised that property in London was something that could make money. I worked for a multinational company called Danone originally in a graduate position, and I worked for them in London and Melbourne. At the same time, property, as I said, had tweaked my interest. I've obviously learned that I need to write larger font for the future presentations, so hopefully I can talk you through it. So my first buy-to-let was in 2004 in Birkenhead, £58,000. I bought it with two Aussie guys that I met in a flat share. We then moved on to below market value buy-to-let investing nationwide. We saw HMOs. Because we met in a flat share, we thought, well, we found each other on Gumtree, so we thought, well, let's try and get a piece of that. Let's look at making it professional. Let's bring in Sky Sports. Let's bring in cleaners. Let's make it all inclusive. So we sort of replicated that model, and we started to buy property in Cardiff, Leeds, London, Manchester, and Nottingham. By 2007. I decided that I was going to become a full-time property guru. So at that age, I was 25. I left my corporate life behind and decided against a job in Sydney working for Danone's Australasia head office, and came back to work in my flat share in Fulham from my bedroom. So I'm not quite sure what I was thinking, but here we are. So in 2007, I founded the trading style National Property Trade. Set up the website, and really that focused on direct-to-vendor accelerated sale solutions. So direct-to-vendor is the important thing here, because prior to that point I'd worked with intermediaries, brokers, property sources, and if anyone's been in the game, that's an incredibly murky world. And I came out with a few sharp bites along the way, but decided then to focus on going direct-to-vendor. We went London and nationwide. We started sourcing deals for ourselves, but also as a property broker. When the market changed, we realised we couldn't rely on market growth and refinancing. We had to come up with other ways to generate revenue, so we started sourcing deals. By 2010, we had moved away from that area. We were in sale and leaseback for a while as well as a regulated operator. We moved into property trading, and that's when we focused on actually buying the deals ourselves. We said, why do we want to source deals when we can buy them ourselves? Sounds easy, right? But the key, of course, to trading is you've got to try and turn it over twice in a year to get your money turning around. So we focused in 2010 on proof of concept, on the assisted sale model, which is something that we innovated at the time. I think we were one of the original innovators of that particular product. We focused on this accelerated sale cash offer, so providing a quick cash sale to property vendors who were looking to move on quickly. And of course, as I said, it was all about trading the property every 6 months, so we rotated money twice a year. So then, of course, by 2012, it's a case of, well, that sounds great, Cormac, but how are you going to fund this glorious idea? So we set up Stonehaven Property Trading Fund. My co-owner Shane is in the audience this evening. Shane set this up originally in Hong Kong, and that was the fund that enabled us to then kick on our business to the next level. Between 2010 and 2017, we ended up buying in excess of £100 million of below market value residential property transactions. That's through our trading model. So that's actually closer to probably in excess of 500 rather than 750 properties. And we sold about 95 million in that time scale. And again, as I say, it's about rotating your capital twice a year. So how do we do that? How do you find the deals? So it is all about our marketing and sourcing platform. So we have a web-based sourcing platform. We're the number one online for all the key search terms: quick house sale, sell house fast. We're the number one SEO position for that term. You'll find National Property Trade online if you search those terms. We have a integrated sourcing platform that is integrated with our CRM system. And then, of course, we're serviced by SMS and email. And importantly, we have a fully trained deal underwriting team. Okay, so we have the sales guys and we have the guys who know how to do the deals. And they're all at our office in East Croydon, as you can see there, wearing their Santa jumpers. Of course, you've got to build your reputation. It's very important. You know, the industry did go through a state of flux after the crash. I think there was a lot of investors out there not really sure. We weren't really sure what we were doing, what was our model, you know, what area did we want to focus on. Building your reputation is very important because trust is a big factor in the accelerated sale space. So we were a key contributor to the Office of Fair Trade investigation in 2013. We were at their head offices. We were one of the founding members of the National Association of Property Buyers. We were a key contributor to the code for quick house sales that was established by the Property Ombudsman for property buyers that didn't previously exist. Our online reviews are second to none, and of course we've just received the Trader of the Year as well. So reputation, very important. So funding. We set up 2 funding entities to fund our business. Firstly, Stonehaven. As I said, we established Stonehaven around about 4 years ago. It's an international investment fund, currently has £15 million. It's a bespoke fund established specifically to fund our operation and to fund our trading deals. And our investors have enjoyed an average of 14.5% over the last year. And of course, the fund is completely separate from the operational risk as well, which is very important. National Property Trade has a smaller fund of around £2 million, and we offer flexible short-term debt products as well. And again, it's the combination of debt and equity that combines our pool, enables us to do all of these deals. Bit cheesy, of course, but you know everyone loves it. Everyone loves a cheesy photograph. You got to crown the customer, in my opinion. I think that customers have choice, and we must respect that. We must put the customer at the centre of everything that we do. People don't buy what we do; they buy why you do it. So we enable people to give back. We give them back control of their property sale, and that's the message that we try and get out there through our branding. So I think I've got too many slides, so apologies if I'm rushing. But a few basic tips. I mean, they might be basic, but we've learned the hard way. And I would say, having bought in excess of 500 properties, I would focus primarily on secondary stock, so 80s, 60s sort of era, Victorian and Edwardian stock. Well built, desirable, well located, and near transport. Generally, if it was built first, it was probably built in the best location. It's quite a simple approach. First-time buyer stock is the gold bullion of residential property, in our view. You want to be in that sort of £150,000 to £200,000 range. I think that property that's the property that sells the quickest. I would avoid, not always, obviously there's quality investments out there, but generally speaking, be careful around new build apartments, and be careful around leasehold properties outside of old London stock. So I'll skip on to this slide here, actually, because this is a big one for us. The big word around the office for us is motivation. It's all about understanding motivation. It's all about understanding the reason behind why people approach us. So it's the seller's reason why. It's personal, unique, and important to that seller. We're dealing with people who are going through life-changing moments in their lives. So we must handle this with dedication, care, and of course sincerity. And the reasons why people contact us, so it could be a personal issue or it could be a property issue. Sometimes it's a combination of both. So personal issues are financial, which is less than 10% of our inquiries right now. Actually, it's far more to do with probate or divorce, ill health, relocation, emigration. People who want to just contact us and say, you know what, can you give me a date. I just want a convenient property sale. I don't want to be at the mercy of the market. I just want to be able to know exactly when my house sale is going to complete. And if you can do it in 7 days, that's great. But generally, it's sort of 21 to 28 days is our average turnaround time. The other side of the coin is when we get property issues. So you can have short leases, you can have structural problems, tenant issues, problem tenants, of course. As landlords, we probably all come across them. Not everybody's a full-time landlord or investor, and they don't really have the time or desire to deal with that issue. So we will buy that property, we will deal with that issue. We will extend the lease, we will fix the structural problem, or we will do a refurb. So we refurbish 1/3 of all property deals that we buy. Know property law. Really important, fundamental. You need to, in my opinion, I would advise you need to think about conveyancing law. So understand property titles, understand how the land registry works. Think about what is an RX1, what's a UN1 notice, what does a charge mean, how do they all interact, and of course understanding contracts, sale contracts. Very, very important. There's many, many ways to skin a cat. You can buy a house or you can control a house in many different ways, and it doesn't always have to be the standard way that perhaps we all think about. So, that will be the foundation to how we have managed to evolve the model over the years, and I think that's very, very important. So that's it. I don't think I'm actually inviting questions around Jan at this stage, am I?
No, we're doing a panel afterwards.
Okay, so thank you guys. Hope you found that useful, and we'll look forward to talking later.